What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had yourselves a great weekend. Hope you guys are doing great. We are back to talk about a quick review for season 2 of One Piece for Netflix. Dropped last Wednesday, I believe. And honestly, I, I there is this ongoing, no, maybe not ongoing, but there is this conversation that needs to be had in regards to the binge model versus the weekly release model because I binged all of Netflix, all of One Piece in like 2 days, and I loved it. But like, I also enjoy a weekly release, kind of like what we saw with A Night of a Seven Kingdom, which I got to do. I got to get that review out. But um, do I think this could have been One Piece season 2 could have been better as a weekly release? Probably, it probably could have. But overall, now obviously, since this is an adaptation of the ongoing anime, one of the things I am curious about in regards to the show is how are they going to end it? Because the anime itself has over 1,000+ episodes up to this point, and right now we're only 16 episodes in. I think season one had 8 episodes. Um, I think they both had. I think they both had 8 episodes. I will say, I will say this series should have had 10. I think this series needs to have 10 episodes. Let's see. Oh yeah, they both have eight episodes. But basically, the story picks up. They are on their way to the Grand Line. I'm not really going to go through episode for episode. I'm just going to give my overall general thoughts about that season 2. But um, first and foremost, let me say, I thought there were a lot of people on Twitter who seem to be hating on the show, like, oh, this is not good or anything like this. It looks like AI slop. It's just not AI. Well, maybe they are saying AI slop. It's just they're hating on it. While you have other people who are enjoying it, I for one am enjoying it. I thought it was a really good season. I think it's on par. It may be a little bit better than season 2, but I still see a lot of what season 1 did. Season 2, we get introduced to a lot of characters. Captain Smoker, Baroque Works. And because we have to kind of move things along, a lot of things have to get done relatively quickly. Like the whole thing with the Baroque Works agents being taken out so easy for the most part. You gotta have to do it quick. You can't linger on that because there's so much stuff that you have to do to fit in this 8 episode season, which is why I think if they had done 10 episodes per season, um, maybe it works out a little bit better. But it's probably a very expensive show, especially with the amount of CGI that you have to do and effects you have to do with a lot of these characters. You have Captain Smoker, who literally can turn his body into smoke. Now you probably do more of a practical effect with that in some aspects, but in episode 1 where he's fighting Luffy in Town, and his arms turn into smoke, and it just creates like this stream of smoke through the sky. Like, yeah, that's probably expensive. Even Luffy stuff is expensive. Chopper stuff is definitely expensive. Um, um, what was his name? Warple. His stuff was probably there's so much stuff from a effect CGI standpoint that is probably expensive to do, but I think it's a hit show. This One Piece is a very hit show for it. But I thought I liked all the characters as per usual. Sanji, I've seen people talk about Sanji not being Sanji. I think in the anime he's more of like a kind of like a more of a pervy person. And this one he's more of a smooth talker, which I'm okay with. It doesn't bother me as much. I was so happy to see how Zoro got his source, because that's one of the things I have never been caught up to the anime. I've never not finished the anime, but I'm so far behind that I'm really not interested in trying to get caught up because I just don't have a lot of time to devote to something like that. But I do remember watching the anime on Adult Swim when I was younger, and one of the episodes I saw was when they got to uh Lowtown, Zoro getting his new swords, new swords. This was one of the things that I really enjoyed seeing, just him getting those. I don't know why I like it so much, but it's just something I really, really enjoyed watching. Um, um, who else? Now there was one thing. So I remember doing the review, not review, but I remember doing the reaction to the trailers, and obviously Nefari, if I said it, was it Nefafari Vivi? Um, so we got introduced to Vivi, and obviously in the anime, she's white. In the live action, they changed her to a much more darker skin tone. I was like, at first, I was like, I need to watch it first before I make any kind of decision on that. After watching the season two, I think it's fine. I think she was fine. I think she was a pretty good actress for the role that she was doing. I thought from the dynamic of what they were trying to do with the character, I thought it worked fine. So no complaints about it at all with the change there. Um, what else? I'm trying to think of any other changes. I might as well just go ahead and say, to me, the star of season two is Lyra Abova, if I said her name right, who plays Nico Robin. She was by far one of the most impressive actresses. Like every scene that she was on or she was in was just outstanding, and I'm really glad. I'm not too focused on the sex appeal of the character in the show, but she is such a lovely, gorgeous woman, and I thought she portrayed Nico Robin relatively well. Now, again, from an anime standpoint, I am not that far. I have not gotten up to that point of where Nico Robin is introduced. I have seen like YouTube clips, TikTok clips, stuff like that of scenes with Nico is involved. Um, but overall, I thought what they did with this Netflix version was actually really, really good, and I really, really enjoyed it. Um, Trying to think what else was there, because if it's so, because they're on their way to Alabasta, so Alabasta's probably going to be, because one of the things I said to myself, oh, I wonder if Robin's going to join the crew at the end of season two. Probably not. Probably season three is going to be the whole season, whole 8 episodes of season three is probably going to be a whole Alabasta saga, which I guess is fine. Um, Chopper. I was so curious on how Chopper was going to be done, and I think for the most part, I like what they did. I thought the voice actress for Chopper was actually really, really good. Um, although, so Chopper has different forms. He has the regular Tony Chopper look. He has like a reindeer look, and then he has a more manly deer man look. I don't think the muscular deer man look worked well, especially with the face. I think the face just did not work with it, and I do appreciate them trying to make it work. But watching him do that within the last 3 episodes of season two, I was just kind of like, it's not really hitting for me. But his first two forms, I thought were relatively fine. I thought they were good. Warple. Uh, Now, the thing about a show like One Piece, I can appreciate it being it's campy. It is campy. Like there were people who were criticizing it, and it was just like, what are we doing here? It's just if you don't like it, don't watch it. Um, Warple eating, what was the devil fruit called? Was it the munch fruit? I could be wrong about what it was called, but him eating it and like the ability that he can do is just like open his large mouth like a kind of like a hippo's mouth was actually, I thought, was really, really cool. Yeah, like it probably doesn't really translate well from anime or manga to live action, but again, I appreciate them trying to do something unique with it. Um, Laboon. Oh, episode 2 was just so sad to watch, especially with the story of Laboon the whale. We even get a Brook, as it Brook, I think his name is Brooks, the skeleton guy. We even get an early look at him in this episode of what like he was human before, tragically what happens later on down the line with that particular character, and then he ends up becoming a member of the Straw Hats. Um, we got to see Buggy and Alvera again. Now Alvera, if this is, I think it's the same actress. If it's the same, yeah, it is the same actress. But what I'm curious about, if she put in the work to lose that amount of like weight that she had in season 1, more power to her, and like massively uh congratulations to her. Let me see. I can't remember. There's something I'm trying to see here. I'm looking at the cast list. I'm trying to remember if I recognize anybody else. I thought Lady Gaga was in season 2. I may have been wrong. We got to see. No, I guess not. I'm just trying to just make sure I don't miss anything or miss anybody in particular. I'm trying to think what else in particular I liked about it. I thought the pacing was fine. I think they did this in season 1 with the Arlong plot, where the last 3 episodes were focused on that general thing, and they kind of did it here with the Chopper arc. Was it Drum Island arc? Whereas like the last 3 episodes are revolved around Warple, Chopper, Vivi, that whole situation. They teased the leader of Baroque Works, Crocodile, at the end. I loved. I think it was episode 4 or 5 when they're on Little Garden Island, and Sanji is fighting. What they call it? It was like the vulture and the otter or something, or the fair. I can't remember what kind of animal it was, but I enjoyed that little interaction there. I thought the powers with the Baroque Works characters were actually relatively cool. You got one that apparently can just shoot booger bombs or even air bullets. I thought that was that was cool. Was it Mr. 3? The one that is able to like use basically wax as a weapon. The one, what was her? Let me see. What was her name? Right, if they have her name. I don't know if they do or not, but it was the one. It was the girl with the paint who used the paints. I can't remember her name, but I thought she was relatively fun to watch. But yeah, I just think overall I really enjoyed season 2 of One Piece. I think it is worth a watch. Like, people are gonna hate on it regardless, but I thought it was very good. Like, I'm excited to see more. Now the issue is you're probably gonna have to wait unless they picked up production on it a little bit quicker, because we waited 3 years from season 1 to season 2, and that is an issue with streaming in general right now, is these long wait periods in between these seasons that people sometimes lose interest. Like, I think Stranger Things had this issue. They had like between seasons 4 and 5. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see what the gap was. So season 1 was Stranger Things season 1 was July 15th, 2016. Season 2 came out a year after. Season 3 came out 2 years after. Season 4 came out 3 years after. And then season 5 came out. Yeah, so like the whole 3-year model is kind of annoying, especially when it's like only 8 episodes. Like it's really, really ridiculous that people have to wait so long just for 8 episodes, when back in the day we were getting 20 episodes of seasons of sitcoms on television and stuff like that. And then you would have, they'll come out in January. Season 1 will come out in January. Oh, and guess what? Season 2 will come out like probably like a couple of months after that, or even a year after that. So they probably need to fix it. I think Netflix needs to adopt in some way, shape, or form the weekly release model. I think that'll be better for them. I think that would actually help out a lot. But I don't know why they consist on the binge model. But it is what it is. But overall, I know this wasn't a episode by episode review. I thought about doing that. I really thought about doing that because I wanted to be able to just sit and take my time and like thoroughly review these episodes. But I may do that with season 3, where I'll just do like just weekly episode, maybe not weekly episode. I'll just do episodes reviews of it individually, maybe. But guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching on Rumble, hit that follow button. You can also find links to my Twitch, Kick, the Shawnee D Man Gaming channel, the Nerd Talk podcast, all that you can find down in the description below. But thank you again for hanging out. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.